Graduated from North Park 5 months ago. Yay! And I haven't gotten a job yet because even though I have a Bachelor of Science and a teaching certificate, because of rampant foreclosures, fewer people are paying their property taxes, which means that schools are firing teachers instead of hiring them.
of one of the main tentacles of Wall Street greed, the Mortgage Bankers Association of America. These are the people who engineered the subprime mortgage crisis that crashed the entire economy back in 2008. And how were they rewarded? Well, the banks got bailed out and we got sold out. Banks got bailed out, we got sold out. Banks got bailed out, we got sold out. And so, Wall Street has recovered, but the rest of us still suffer. And right now, the bankers are in there figuring out how to make even more money off of us and our suffering. Sisters and brothers, it is the best of times and it is the worst of times. For the Wall Street tycoons at this convention, for the ultra-rich, for the captains of corporate America, it is the best of times. But for the rest of us, for the 99%, it is the worst of times. Sisters and brothers, we are the 99%. We face insurmountable debt and toxic loans concocted on Wall Street, and we are losing our homes by the millions. We are the 99%. We are struggling with record long-term unemployment and underemployment. We are witnessing an entire generation of young adults, including well-educated college graduates, stepping out into an economy that seems to have no place for them. We are the 99%. We see the ultra-rich and corporations using government deficits as an excuse to attack workers and the poor, while they hoard trillions of idle wealth in their mansions and corporate offices. Sisters and brothers, we are the 99%. We are laboring under the yoke of economic bondage, and we say it's time for a change. It is time for the ultra-rich Wall Street and other corporations to get off of our backs. It is time for trillions of dollars of idle wealth to be invested in all the work that needs to be done so that people who are desperate from work can get back to work, teaching America's children, providing vital social services, repairing America's crumbling roads and bridges, weatherizing buildings, and manufacturing clean, renewable sources of energy for the 21st century. Sisters and brothers, I see before me a growing army. It is an army of peace, of justice, and love. And it is an army growing here in Chicago, on Wall Street, in New York, in Los Angeles, in Boston, in San Francisco, in cities across the It is growing in cities across the nation and across the globe. The mission of this army is to fight back against the class warfare that corporations and the ultra-rich have been waging against the 99% for decades. We are here to take back the economy that has been stolen from us. Are you ready to fight back? We're gonna beat back the bank attack. 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 We're gonna beat back the bank attack.
You know, some people still think that the only way to fix the deficit is with spending cuts. Here's just one funding source on the chopping block. A federal grant program designed to strengthen urban communities by developing affordable housing and by providing foreclosure prevention services. Could there be a worse time to cut this kind of funding? In Lakeview and across Chicago, these funds also support job training. They fund services for seniors and for those living with disabilities. Services for vulnerable children, for victims of family violence, and for people experiencing and recovering from the trauma of homelessness. On top of that, Chicago's yearly allotment of these program funds has been shown to maintain or leverage an average of 2,200 full-time Chicago jobs. Imagine what any cuts would mean to the people of this city. And this is just one threatened funding source in one city. Imagine the effect of cuts like this across the country, especially in communities already reeling from foreclosures and joblessness. I ask you, is this the way to fix the deficit? No! And that's why we're on the streets here today. We're going to hear from Amber.
Hi, my name is Amber Andis. I'm a leader with North Park Justice League and North Zone Power. I graduated from North Park 5 months ago, and I haven't gotten a job yet because even though I have a Bachelor of Science and a teaching certificate, because of rampant foreclosure, fewer people are paying their property taxes, which means that schools are firing teachers instead of hiring them. I can't even find a non-teaching job or a substitute teaching opportunity because no one is hiring and all those out-of-work teachers are looking for the same jobs that I am. I am lucky not to be homeless because my parents escaped foreclosure thanks to the work that Northside Power and other community groups have done for them. So I need my elected officials to quit standing up for Wall Street and start standing up for my street.
Hey, you millionaires, pay your fair shares. 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 Hey, you millionaires, pay your fair shares.
All right, so we do have some folks on our side, so I'm happy to introduce one of our elected officials who is courageous and willing to stand with us today and tell how the destruction of the economy is affecting the city of Chicago. Will Burns! Alderman Will Burns!
Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. My name is Will Burns. I'm the alderman of the 4th Ward, Hyde Park, Kenwood, Bronzeville. Where are my people from Solat? I'm here today because I wanted to get off the sidelines. I'm here today because on every Monday night, I do ward night in my office. And people come to me who are unemployed and underemployed. People who are trying to save their homes, people who are trying to pay their rent, trying to pay their bills. And they can't figure out a way to do it. And there's very little I can do for them personally. But I've heard their cries and I've heard their pleas for help. And what I'm here to say to you today is that we have to rebalance our economy in the United States. We have to restore the compact that existed between workers and management and in America, where if you worked hard, if you played by the rules, you had a shot opportunity. You can afford to send your kid to college. You can send your kid to a decent school. You can live in a decent neighborhood. You can have public safety. You can have parks. You can have schools that didn't have 40 kids in a classroom. And unless we get off the sidelines to demand that kind of society again, not only will we all fail, but America will fail. Because if workers can't afford to buy the goods and services, who will? We are the 99%. I stand with you. God bless you all.
I hear you saying, pay us back now. I said, pay us back now. Pay us back for the jobs you took. Pay us back for the homes you took. Pay us back for the bailouts. Pay us back for the bonuses. Pay us back for the lobbyists. Pay us back now. Pay us back now. Pay us back now. All right. My name is Curtis Smith. I'm a leader with the Lakeview Action Coalition. And I'm here to tell you that corporate accountability matters to us. 3 years ago, Hank Paulson and Tim Geithner and Goldman Sachs alumni came to Congress and said the banks are in trouble. Their credit is freezing up. They need a bailout. $1.5 trillion later, and profitable banks, and they're doing well with their money. These banks are rich now, but we got nothing. Now we need our elected officials to act as aggressively as Paulson and Geithner and stand and march with us on the side of economic fairness. With the economy in shambles, we are fighting to save our homes, our jobs, our health care, our pensions, and struggling to keep a foothold in the middle class and get into the middle class. The American people are not fools, though. We know what we need to do to get out of this crisis. First, let's call what this crisis is. A revenue crisis, not a spending one. Right? Approximately $375 billion of our annual national deficit is attributable to the George Bush tax cuts in the early 2000s. So we are demanding our elected officials to raise the marginal tax rates on the wealthiest individuals by ending the Bush tax cuts and supporting Jan Schakowsky's bill, the Fairness in Taxation Act. The Schakowsky plan would raise $78 billion a year and would allow the Bush tax to expire, which would have raised additional $40 billion. Together, that's almost $1.5 trillion over 10 years. That's money that needs to be paid back right to us. We also need our elected officials to close those corporate tax loopholes and offshore havens and institute a financial transaction tax on Wall Street. All corporations need to pay their fair share. 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 Wall Street pays nothing when they engage in speculative trading. Even a very small 0.5% of speculation of transaction tax would generate $150 billion annually. That's real money. That's our money that it can pay us back. While our nation's infrastructure, roads and bridges, and our social infrastructure are crumbling around us, there are 25 million people looking for work or underemployed. We are demanding our elected officials enact a real jobs bill, a real jobs plan that will put millions of people back to work. Rebuilding our social and physical infrastructure. Our public housing stock needs $20 to $30 billion. We need to hire back more teachers and more social, health care, and child care workers. Not less, that's not enough. Since this crisis, about 3 million families have lost their homes to foreclosure, and more than 1 in 4 homeowners with a mortgage owe more than their house is worth. So we are demanding our banks, Fannie and Freddie, to lower principal amounts for all the underwater mortgages and hold save our communities, families, and taxpayers. That's what we're asking them to do. Because according to the report by the New Bottom Line, lowering the principal balances for all underwater mortgages in Illinois
what would save homeowners an average of $500 per month, inject $2.9 trillion into the Illinois economy, and create an additional 43,000 jobs. That is our platform, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're demanding. We are asking our elected officials to be accountable, be our champions, stand up for us. Don't say But I would like to introduce a champion who has been a champion with us for many years. Jan Schakowsky has stood with us, fought good fight, has told these people in Congress what is right. So we want to ask her today to come up and share with us what we can do together. So Jan, welcome. Thank you.
First, I want to thank you all for being here today. What your presence here today says is that we are not helpless in the face of immigration. We are not. You are not. I am not. If we work together, we can make change. The middle class is disappearing and the poor are getting poorer. And in the meantime, some of my colleagues have the gall to say that the rich are the job creators. If that were true, then where are the jobs? You are the job creators. What Wall Street does not need is more tax breaks. What they need is more customers. People who have money. You know, I'll tell you, 1 out of 4 children in the United States of America, the richest country in the world, is what we fancily call food insecure. They go hungry some nights. Is that right? We have got to change the idea here that all the money has to go to the top. Do you know this? The 400 wealthiest Americans in the United States of America today have as much wealth as 150 million other Americans. Is that fair? No! Millions of people. They say that 15 million are unemployed, but what about the underemployed? What about all those workers who have been looking for a job and are tired of it? Is that right? No! You know, we bailed out Wall Street, but when you come and ask to refinance your home, are they there to help you? No! We can make a difference. I introduced a jobs bill that would fix our schools around the country, that would fix our parks by hiring young people, that would support our neighborhood heroes, our teachers, hire more teachers, firefighters, policemen, that would create a health care corps of workers, that would create a child care corps of workers, 2.2 million new jobs. And you know what? Some of my colleagues say, well, those aren't real jobs. Those are just public service jobs. Are those real jobs? That's
pastor of Sixth Grace Presbyterian Church. I'm also chair of the Clergy Caucus for Seoul. Southside is organized for unity and liberation. And I just had the, how should I say it, unfortunate opportunity to sit in the Mortgage Bankers Association plenary today. You're really in for a treat when you hear what took place. I was a part of an inside team representing National People's Action. We went in, and what the bankers had to talk about was the future. How the markets are looking ripe to continue to exploit our communities. They talked about the future and how the future looked bright, that African American and Latino communities still wanted a home, even though mortgages were underwater. They talked about the future, but continued to ignore the present realities that plague our communities right here in the city of Chicago. We sat in and we eventually had the opportunity to ask questions. We asked them, how could they sleep at night, knowing the devastation that they have caused so many millions of people? How can they show their faces in the city of Chicago, knowing the devastation that they have brought to this city and to our communities? Ultimately, they got a little uncomfortable. Mr. Hyde, the CEO of Wells Fargo, got so nervous his hands began to shake. They were so rattled that they sent another team up to the moderator of the session to shut it down before we could ask all of our questions. Just a few minutes ago, inside team number 2 went in and protested, and we were all kicked out because they couldn't handle the noise and they couldn't handle the truth. They tried to defer the blame. They tried to say that it's a two-way street. But how can it be a two-way street when they created the bad mortgage products that continue to plague our communities, and particularly targeted African American and Latino communities? Something's not right with that. Something's not right with that. And so we are here today to make our voices heard, to continue to make them nervous, to continue to make their hands shake, because we're not going to lay down and take it anymore. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for letting your voices be heard. And we're going to continue this fight, and we're going to take it all the way over to the Art Institute, and we're going to continue to let our voices be heard until change comes.
What do we want? Justice! What do we want it now? What do we want? Justice! When do we want it now? What do we want to be? Back the bank attack. We want to be back the bank attack. We want to be.
Big banks got no goods. The people need a Robin Hood.
Show me.
So angry at what's happening in this country. 3 years ago, when the economy collapsed, our government said, oh, we got to bail out these banks, and we gave them $750 billion. And instead of investing that money, instead of helping people save their homes, they just took that money and they're just buying each other up, and they're leaving working people as unemployment rises and as people lose their homes. So I'm here today to join in with my co-workers and everybody here to march to stand up against how they've dealt with us.
today's initiative with unions and churches and community organizations, grassroots organizations, really spells out what America needs right now. America needs jobs. People want to get back to work. And this is what democracy looks like.